MetaMike, we all know, is the greatest website right now for coins. Team of the season is near. Get acquainted with my code META. That's code META for the best meta cards. Team of the season is near. Not just 8% off, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. For instance, if you purchase 30 million coins, you get an additional 4.5 million coins. So they have a added bonus when purchasing coins. That's why MetaMike is the GOATs. Now, if you also check their page out, they do have giveaways. So go check the description out right now. Let's get it. Brothers, what's good, what's popping, boys? We do have a 4-for-1 formation tactic now. I'll be honest, man, when it comes to tactics, use whatever formation works, right? There's so much formations out right now. Everybody says use this meta formation. I mean, I won't lie, I do it myself. But I feel like now you can obviously have free reign to use whatever. In my opinion, the better formation, actually, I'll be really honest right now, that's better than this one. Pretty similar to it, though, is the 4-2-3-1/2. The only reason why is because you have the CDMs. Now, what the CDMs does is it actually catches the cutbacks. And obviously, they do pounce on the attackers much easier. And obviously, like interceptions, etc., etc. So, yeah, with the CMs, they're more of the attacking play styles. You'll see them more up the pitch compared to the 2 CDMs. So, if you don't have 2 CDMs, I wouldn't really say it's a train smash. I'd say if you're really good at attacking, the 2 CMs does come into handy, like really well, come into play. But you need 2 CDMs, man. You at a disadvantage, I cannot lie. But if you want a free-flowing formation, the 4-for-1-1 is definitely the play. I like this formation because it's very attacking. In a certain sense, you have to at least have 1 CM to like drop back. So playing the holding role, if that makes sense. So let's jump into it. We're obviously going to leave the top comment. We'll check the pin comment. Will be the code, of course. Don't just copy and paste. See what I have to say. Let's jump into it. Build up style with short passing now. I think I've pretty much always gone short passing since the time I had the 4-4-2/2. Now, why I like it is I feel like there's a specific way about them approaching, like, you know, with the AI. If you know how to like trigger runs, so basically holding L1, LB on Xbox, and knowing exactly when a player is going to move forward, then it's really, really OP when you have this build-up style. And I love it really well, especially if I'm attacking down the middle now. I feel like this one is very, very nice because it actually has the cam, which links, obviously, the midfield to the attack very nicely, as opposed to the 4-4-2/2. We have defensive approach being high. I always go 70. I just felt like it's just always the middle ground of, like, decent enough pressure, you know, not to at least have gaps. And also not to at least be too stagnant. Now, with 70, right, especially with 2 CMs, bros, I cannot lie to you, you're going to see gaps, man, especially in this formation. But just watch the video. I'm actually going to play a game later just to showcase how you actually defend with this formation. You have to be very, very, what's the word, particular. Very peculiar. Is that the word? I don't know if it is. But yeah, line height 70. If you're seeing gaps, what you can do is you can go 50 line height. And then, because it's 2 CMs, man, it makes sense. So yeah, we do have obviously the roles. At the end of the day, man, do you guys even like roles and play styles and stuff, like talking in retrospect in terms of FC25? I feel like, I like the roles in focus. I just don't like that they've added so much stuff, man, like playstyle pluses and all this, bro. Because basically it's like you don't really care too much about player stats and stuff. It's more about the actual, you know, roles, focus, playstyle pluses. But yeah, I definitely think they should remove playstyle pluses, in my personal opinion, at least next FC. But we'll see, man. We got goalkeeper defend. As I say, I always say it, I have them on defend focus because I like to move the keeper out myself. Completely up to you if you like to have the AI do it for you. Fullbacks is actually unbalanced this time. If you have it at defend, it's just going to be a little bit too compact, and you don't actually have that width, you know, offering the link between the fullbacks, CDMs, and then obviously wingers. Now, you do have the 2 CMs, the most important one in the formation. It's always important because heart of the team. Now, someone like Joshua Kimmich, insane card, can do pretty much everything. I like this card because he turns well. He's not obviously your tallest card. I would definitely say accompany someone that is tall. Furman is definitely not the guy, bro. I'm literally using bad players just to kind of highlight how good a formation is. I mean, I think I went 4-1 in Foot Champs. That is qualifiers, by the way, with this team. Bro, I got Jota, bro. Bro was released like 3 months ago, I think. So it just goes to show, yeah, it's more about the formation. So I do think someone like a Ruud Gullit alongside Kimmich, you know, all those type of cards is always nice. And I do think if you do have more of the interceptor, someone like a Ruud Gullit, he can be in this Joshua Kimmich role. Can play that deep line. He can have that build up as well. So pretty much someone that's very dominant in midfield can play that role. And then maybe someone alongside him that's, you know, playing the holding role, ball winning as well. You know, someone that's a little bit more fluid on the ball. Putellas, you boys know the deal. There's a couple of them. And then obviously Cam is going to be Shadow Striker, Nwaneri. Now, why I like Shadow Striker is because if you have only Striker and then Playmaker is good for starting up attacks and stuff. The thing is with a Cam, right? What I've noticed with the Shadow Striker is he acts as a second striker sometimes. So overall, though, I do like that because sometimes Thierry Henry can get a little bit isolated, if that makes sense. So Nwaneri is that guy to at least help him a bit. And then the wingers, a couple of people do always go inside forward. The thing is with the inside forward, a little bit too bunched up top. I like to have the width. I mean, you're playing the 4-4-1-1 for the width at the end of the day. So having someone on a winger, you could even have another player on the inside forward and then another guy on winger. You know, it's a nice balance. You have one guy going into up top, cutting in like a ram or a lamb in this case, or even a Cam. And then, yeah, you should have that nice width. But I do like to have at least one winger to have winger plus plus, because this essentially triggers that AI movement. And essentially, like, let's say if someone's pressing you, you can always pass down to the winger, you know, whether that be starting an attack, whether that be holding the ball up top, even a little bit in your own half, etc., etc. So yeah, obviously striker's gonna be attack, advanced plus at forward. That is. Let's jump in the game. Very first team: Ruud Gullit, Matthijs, Kimmich. One CDM. Pretty rare to find someone playing one CDM formations, but yeah, pretty rare to find someone playing no CDM formations. As you can see, Jota, as I said, with the winger plus all the way out wide. So we're gonna cut inside, pass one down, and we've already got a goal. Beautiful stuff. Did you see where Nwaneri is? Yep, Shadow Striker, acts as a second striker and a playmaker. It's very OP, man. Shadow Striker is very OP for Cam. Testing. Beautiful stuff from Nwaneri. This guy is cooking, bro. I mean, I literally got a loan at Cam. At the end of the day, man, if you have much better players, it just it works. It works so nicely. And I feel like this is just much better than the stagnancy of two CDMs. You know, you can actually play football, bro. You can run up top when you need to score bangers. You got your two CMs that runs like pretty much all over the place. Also, they must have stam, bro. That's one important thing I'd say. But yeah, look where Nwaneri is and look where Thierry Henry. Sometimes they even like, you know, sometimes Thierry Henry acts as a Cam, for instance, you know. They play vice versa, like interplay. Beautiful pace boost from the main man, Thierry Henry. We're going to driven that and we get our third goal already. GG's to this guy, he's gone. Now, do I play another game? Honestly speaking, no. I'm gonna leave it there, bro. It is insane, but I cannot lie. What I like about this formation is there's no stagnancy, you know. In attack, it's one of the best, especially if you use the LB technique. So you literally hold down LB when you're passing. It makes the positioning / AI movement patterns so much more crisp. I've done it in previous videos. I think I've done it about a year. But yeah, just make use of that, boys. You're going to see this formation will cook. Tell me if you're going to use it. And I do say, very importantly, I'll probably leave it in the top comments. If you want a defensive version of this formation, literally go 4-2-3-1/2, which is obviously the 4-2-3-1 variant with the LM on RM instead of the straight RAM and LAM. I do feel like the 4-2-3-1/2 can probably be one of the best formations right now. I mean, the way this 4-4-1-1 is playing, and it's without CDMs, I can only imagine. But yeah, that's the video, man. Hit that like, subscribe. I'll catch you boys in the next one. Serie A tots this weekend. Let's get it, man.